try that though.
Not yet.
I'm curious also about another thing, about the way actually your music sound. Of course it's the most important thing, but it seems to me that you quite early found a way of actually doing things, you know, with not having too much guitar, for instance. You also playing the guitar, you're playing the bass in the band, but you're also playing the guitar duties, but not too much.
Garrett also plays singles.
Oh,
on singles he started playing guitar.
Okay.
So we share the guitar duties.
Have you said it again, Garrett?
No. This is Garrett.
Yeah. but that's one thing, and also the keyboard part. You know, there's a lot of, you know, it seems like when you play live, there's a lot of backtracks or things being programmed. You're actually very careful about what you do. You don't when you listen to the music, you won't actually acknowledge, maybe if you're not a musician, that this is actually not playing live right now, but there's a kind of more going on that you actually do with your hands. So that's one thing. And then this without the guitar, and then there's a lot of space for you as a bass player. If you listen to some of the songs I already did, you will actually notice that there's a lot of space for the bass. Sometimes you also do some very high notes and high lines with actually no one's actually missing the button, because the music is sort of airy when you do it. But is this the way you wanted to make music, or is it just it became like this, or did you go in that direction, or? To me, it seems like it's kind of a very solid formula you actually found.
Yeah, I feel like if we could all decide, like, day one when we started working together, if we could be like, I want to be like this kind of band, there would be 3 separate, totally different bands. I think with anything, like, you know, I studied painting in college, and anytime I would go to a painting and I wanted to make it look a certain way, it always ended up a different way. And I think even more so with collaboration with other people, like, we all come from such different musical backgrounds. I think that we're like pushing and pulling where the songs go. And we figured out early on, like, just the way of writing, which is usually basically just a drum machine going, and then we just jam in a room. And Sam is there writing. You know, Garrett's got a keyboard. Early on it was just a keyboard, and I had the bass. And I wanted our band to sound like Kraftwerk. I wanted to play keyboards, but there was a bass at the house that we practiced at, and I just grabbed it for one song, and we played that song live. Everyone was like, "That's the song. That's the bass. You got to play the bass." So I just I'll try to play. I was a guitar player who wanted to be a keyboard player, and I became one. Garrett is a sick metal guitarist. He showed up to the first practice with a guitar, and we were like, "Why don't you try this toy keyboard?" And he had never played keyboards before. And he basically taught himself. He did teach himself how to play keyboards with a lot of the learning processes through artwork. And Sam's a rapper, and he's now a singer in a pop band.
And that's how I wrote. It was just like from the freestyle. Like, I came from a freestyle school, so when we were writing, I was just like freestyling lines, like in a sing-song way. And so a lot of that early stuff is kind of, well, it's all interesting. It all kind of goes in. And for me, like, a lot of the way I am as a writer is because of the personal style that I love about in hip hop. Like a good MC speaks about personal struggle, pain, and their own personal story. That's what I loved about hip hop. And so that's how I approach writing songs for the first time. I never wanted to be in a band. Because my older brother was in bands, and so but he also introduced me to hip hop. And so when I was younger, and so that's the road that I went down. And yeah, it was just one of those things. Like, I don't want to just be in a band. Like, I want to be an MC. This is what I love. And so in the end, I ended up being in a band, and I love it. You know, because it allowed me. When I went off to art school, I wanted to work in performance art. And kind of conceptual ideas, and I was trying to figure out how to mold like 3-dimensional sculpture of the body is sculpture, the body is a work of art, of my own body, and then working in my words. And I found out years down the road, I was like, with playing music with these guys, I was like, oh, I did it, and I didn't even realize that I realized that what we do and what I'm allowed to do because of these guys is tell my story, tell my stories, and use my body as the propulsive element to push that forward. to mark myself. And I in a way,